Right.
All right, we're back on. The electrical. You've got a 200 amp service. It's underground. It comes in the rear of the house, in the right rear basement. That's where the panel's located. It's a Cutler hammer. It's an older system, but it's in good shape. Overall wiring, I had a pretty good inspection. The panel, you had a couple things that you could improve on. You had 2 wires on a non-rated breaker on breaker number 8. And that shouldn't be a fire issue, but it's sharing a circuit, or rather a breaker, that'd be a 20 or 15 amp circuit, I'm not sure what it was right now, with 2 circuits, so it could trip and be a pain. The heat pump was actually wired with a 40 amp 2-pole breaker on a 10 gauge wire, which is small. It should not have been wired that way. It shouldn't have exceeded a 35 amp breaker. Interior, the branch wiring, I had a good overall inspection, with the exception of a couple outlets or receptacles that were ungrounded, and one of those was located below the electrical panel in the basement, and the other was in the basement bath. And so what that means, on the basement bath, you don't get your GFI protection. The other areas with ground fault that did respond were the baths, the right garage, etc. You had a bad switch in the living room, or the switch is actually located in the dining room, but it controls receptacles in the living room, and so it's not the dimmer switch. It's the one that doesn't have the plate. You might want to just go ahead and replace that. Interior, the entry doors, for the most part, in good condition. You did have some damaged weather stripping in some places, but the seals weren't too bad. Storm not latching, and some deterioration on both of them, on the upper and lower rear. Interior doors, overall condition good. The upper left bed won't latch. Minor damage on the laundry door. Looks like an animal or something was trapped in there. The windows, new in places and working fine. Dual pane. They are a double hung, and you've got older windows that are a dual pane, but they're not a sealed glass, and the ones that are still in place are working just fine. They're really nice old windows. The wall and ceiling conditions were pretty good. Few stains, upper left big closet, the upper right hall center closet, which are currently dry, and the floors general wear and tear. Alright, the fireplaces. The one in the nook, of course, has got an insert. I couldn't view the firebox, the throat, or the damper area. The lower one I could. You had heavy rust. That's got a heatilator metal box assembly in it. You really ought to have a rain cap on the chimney. It does work. I'd recommend burning with caution. Just regularly inspect the damper and make sure that it's not breaking out and giving you a problem. Now, having said that, if it was a problem, you could always get a top mount damper to go on the top of the chimney. They work really well. The stairs and handrails were okay. I don't test smoke detectors. Make sure you put new batteries in when you get in. Your laundry. The hookups looked okay. The dryer is not currently hooked to the exhaust. The appliances did go through cycle, but the washer makes an unusual noise. It's an older unit, but it did run through. Your attics, 2x6 joist, 2x8 rafters, 5 accesses entered, small stains, some minor damage, nothing serious. It was vented. The ventilation is poor and minimal on the front, right and left attic areas, which are the smaller triangles right and left of the dormers, and the rear attic triangle, which is across the entire back of the structure. The ventilation is poor because you don't have good ventilation or baffles which would carry hot or warmer air into the upper area and exhaust out of the louvers. The upper area appears to be okay. Now, some damage that I discussed was very minor. In the rear left lower attic, you can see where there was a little damage in the sheathing, and it does appear that they had some problems with the solar system that was in place, and the panels must have been leaking, and probably I don't know if that's the reason they pulled it, but they do have problems sometimes when you mount those on a roof to get them to not be a problem leaking, but it's not serious. The structure was overall in good condition. None of the accesses, with the exception of one, were insulated, and so you may do well to insulate those. You're going to get some cold air around them. The garage, that actually is the access for the ceiling area over the laundry and right of the fireplace. In fact, from the garage you access the chimney, and there were a few stains around that, but none of those stains are active or wet. The garage, the one on the right, the overall condition was good. The lower one was okay as well. Wall, ceiling, floors, that sort of thing. There was some pest evidence in the garage right at the door, the vehicle door, on one of the lower posts. You can see where termites had come up, but you can also see where someone's treated that entire area. The left lower garage, one of the receptacles, if you plug a device into it and pull it out, the box is coming out with the plug, so you may want to correct that. The kitchen, the sink, faucet, plumbing, in good condition, some minor stains below. These are really nice cabinets. They're older cabinets, but they're cherry. They appear to be in good working order. The disposal was in good condition. The cooktop, the oven, all of that fine. The dishwasher fine. The hookup, microwave, and fridge all working without problem. 4 bathrooms. A is your laundry, B is the first level hall, C is the upper left level hall, and D rather is the basement. The toilets were all okay. You did have some stains around the first level hall toilet. The sinks, the faucets were okay. The faucet in the laundry leaks quite a bit. You probably should replace the seals or either the faucet. The drains in all 4 okay. B and C have corroded drain lines. The cabinets counter's okay. Excuse me. The cabinets have some stains, but not bad, and no rot or anything like that. Ventilation and heat in all areas were necessary, were installed. The first level hall bath fan makes a little noise when it first starts up, but it quiets down. It's an older fan. Now you got a bathtub in the upper level hall, and you've got one in the first level hall. The one in the first level hall, of course, is a Whirlpool, which did operate, but it's got a couple leaks. It's got a leak on the return at the seal area where it joins a tub, and that same return line where it joins the housing where the pump motor mounts. 2 leaks that I saw. There may be more there, but those were the 2 that I could see. I'd recommend caulking at the floor on tub C, which is the upper level hall, and you definitely need to clean the jets and pipes in the Whirlpool. The shower is okay. A little damage at the shower wall in the lower bathroom, which is a basement bath. It looks like they either damaged the unit when they installed it, or they just installed one that had a couple cracks in the back of it. It doesn't appear that it's leaking, and you can buy fiberglass repair kits at Lowe's, Home Depot, places like that. But for the most part, that's it. Again, if you read through this and you got questions, please call me. But it's a very nice house. It really is. It wasn't a cheaply built house at the time. It was a very nice house, and it still is today.
Is there anything that you would do immediately?
I would get on the couple electrical issues. I would definitely make sure that my grounding was proper in the basement, my GFI. I would probably change that circuit on the heat pump to a 30 or 35. You don't need a 40 on that. The grading, I don't know if they put a French drain along the front of the house or not, but there's evidence that somebody was doing something. There are some heavy stone around the front that would be evidence that someone did incorporate some sort of drain system, and it's not evidenced in the basement that it's still a problem. So I guess that that's been dealt with, but anytime you have grade issues, you want them corrected. But there's not a whole lot wrong with the house. I mean, It's an older house, but it's in good shape.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Yes.
Let me just show you all the weather we're looking at today too, just so y'all see.